With the referendum coming up in September, everyone's thinking about identity in one way or another, Scottish identity, our identity in the world, personal identity, and the Church has been thinking about its identity too and its role. And the Scottish Episcopal Church has brought out an essay called The Church and Scottish Identity. It's being launched at Synod in 2014, in June, and it's reflecting on the role of the Church throughout the history of Scotland, thinking about the changing nature of Scotland religiously, the ways in which Scotland's becoming more multi-faith and also more secular, what that means for the Church's role in terms of social responsibility, the daily lives of communities here. And we're thinking very much about Scotland's future and encouraging people to think about how they want to think about Scotland's future, what values they associate with Scotland, what values they'd like to see embedded in Scottish communities, and also about how that embedding can take place and what the role of each of us is in embedding the values that we want to see. The essay, as I say, it's called The Church and Scottish Identity, and it's written in order to be relevant both sides of the referendum, that's before and after. It should have a long life after the referendum because it's very much addressing, moving ahead, thinking forwards about how, as a diverse society, we live in Scotland and thinking about Scotland's future. There's no outcome that the Church is trying to persuade anyone towards in relation to the referendum, and we hope that the reflections in the essay will be relevant whichever way people are inclined to vote and whichever way the referendum goes. The essay is one of a series called the Grosvenor Essays, which are brought out annually by the Episcopal Church. We think very much into the future for Scotland. In order to do that, we think about the Church's history in Scotland, but helping us to think about the future, what it means to be in a diverse Scotland, what it means for Scotland these days to be very multi-faith and also in some ways very secular. And we think about what values we'd like to have in Scotland. We encourage people to think about their values, to think about what it means to embed certain values in communities in Scotland and what we all need to do to see those values embedded. There are many questions in the essay that help people to reflect upon these matters and encourage reflection for individual readers and in group reading. We hope that you'll enjoy the essay. It's available for buying from June 2014.